In a small riverside village, where the monsoon season had just begun, a cool breeze drifted through the early morning air. The village was peaceful, its narrow dirt roads lined with small houses made of mud and brick. Farmers prepared for the day's work, while fishermen mended their nets near the riverbank. Alex, a 12-year-old boy, stood at the edge of their farmland, gripping his grandfather's weathered hand, watching dark clouds gather over the horizon. The wind carried the scent of wet earth, and distant thunder rumbled like a warning from the skies. "The river is rising," someone murmured. "It might flood again," another one with fear in his voice. Alex's heart pounded as he saw the once gentle river churning with fury, growing wilder by the second. He clenched his fists. Why does nature give so much, only to take it away? Grandfather, sensing his unease, gave his shoulder a reassuring squeeze. "Watch closely, Alex. There's a lesson in everything." Alex looked doubtfully, his voice steady despite the chaos. The rain had been falling for hours, turning the village into an island surrounded by brown, murky water. The once busy streets were now eerily silent except for the sound of rushing currents. From the safety of a hill, Alex watched as the flood swallowed their land, washing away food sacks, wooden planks, and even a fisherman's boat. But beneath the raging waters, the fish thrived. Alex saw them darting through the flood, devouring the helpless ants and insects that had been swept into their world. On a floating branch, an entire colony of ants clung desperately until a hungry fish leaped out and ended their struggle. "Look at them," he whispered. "The fish are ruling the flood." Grandfather, standing beside him, observed the scene quietly. "Right now, they have the advantage, but time will decide the real winner." Alex didn't understand what he meant. How could anything change when the fish had everything? He simply pointed at the water and said, "Just wait." 3 days later, the rain had stopped. The floodwaters had begun their slow retreat, revealing the soaked and battered land beneath. Alex cautiously stepped onto the damp earth, his bare feet sinking into the thick mud. A heavy silence hung in the air, interrupted only by the occasional croak of a frog or the distant chirping of birds returning to the trees. At the moment he saw them, the fish that had once ruled the waters now lay trapped in shallow puddles, gasping for life. Their once mighty movements were weak. The water that had once been their strength was now their prison, and marching toward them were the ants. With military-like precision, they swarmed the stranded fish, biting, feasting. The same creatures that were helpless just days ago were now in control. A shiver ran down his spine. Grandfather was right. Time had shifted the balance. The village buzzed with the sounds of rebuilding, hammers clanking, voices shouting, carts rolling. Farmers reworked their fields, fishermen repaired their nets, and neighbors helped each other start again. But his mind was stuck on what he had seen. He turned to Grandfather. "Why did this happen? The fish were powerful during the flood, but now they're helpless. The ants were drowning, but now they're in control. What does it mean?" Grandfather wiped his brow, his expression thoughtful. "Because, Alex, time is the most powerful force of all." Alex frowned. "But how?" He gave him a knowing smile. "When flood comes, fish eat ants. When flood recedes, ants eat fish. Only time matters. You see, nothing in life is permanent. Struggles come and go, victories rise and fall. If today is hard, don't give up, because tomorrow could be your time." His words settled in Alex's heart like a seed planted in fertile soil. A week later, the sun shone brightly, as if it had never left. The flood had left destruction, but it had also created new opportunities. Alex watched as farmers used the freshly enriched soil to grow new crops. Fishermen, instead of mourning their lost boats, were crafting stronger ones. People weren't just recovering, they were growing. At that moment, he realized this was what Grandfather meant. Those who lost everything in the flood could rebuild. Those who were powerless before could become powerful tomorrow. Those who were on top today might not always stay there. Time had reset the game. Everyone had another chance. Just like the fish and the ants, life has its floods and its droughts. But if you keep going, your time will come. Like, share, and subscribe to Next Flux for more motivational and inspiring short stories.